Good morning, folks. This is Lindsey Huddleston with SPS back in the building for another SPS Monday Motivation. That's right, we're back at it. Scenery may be a little different. I am at my childhood home. I should say my grandmother's home, at my mom's home in Detroit. I'm going to be in the city of Detroit today to do some good things. I'm going to be over at Derek Coleman's Summer League over at Grove later on this evening. You can check me out there. He's got a chance to come to the city, which is a good thing. Ironic based on today's topic. And what is today's topic? Oh, who is this right here? Let me guess. Good morning, Michelle. Michelle Mimi Watkins, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Hope the family is well. I'm in our great city today, and I'm excited to be down here. And what is today's topic? High gas price sacrifice. Ooh, Lindsey, what you talking about today? What does this have to do with the SPS Monday Motivation? It has everything to do with the SPS Monday Motivation, because we are living in some times where we're seeing gas prices rise. This may look like what you see. Matter of fact, you may break your neck to go get that, because I thought I saw 513. But could you imagine if it was looking like this? Huh? $7 a gallon or even more? Well, it's possible. It's happening in different places. So why am I talking about the gas prices? Some of you guys listen now, Michelle, I don't know if that's you or not. You are in a relationship where gas prices are not applicable, because some male figure is filling up your gas tank all the time. And if that's the case, that's a great thing. That was me when I was married. Oh yeah, I bet she benefited from that. But why I talk about the high gas price sacrifices, because when you are paying these high prices and you're not able to move as comfortably or without strategy as you wish, if you feel me, then you got to think about, what sacrifice you got to make. And it brings us to this conversation about that. Patricia England says, good morning. She's right around the corner too, but she's not even far. Listen to the presentation. Good morning, Mother. Thank you for your hospitality. But here's what I was going to talk about. We talk about prioritizing, sacrificing, prioritizing. Prioritizing is defined as the fact or condition of being regarded or treated as more important. When gas prices are this high, you have to ask yourself, what's the most important thing I need to do? And of course, when we talk about priorities, they really come down to these last few things right here. The top priorities are normally each life domain, including work, family, and relationships. Got to go to work. Got to be able to go and continue to have sustenance for yourself, to be able to provide for yourself and your family. So that's going to be a priority. How do I get to work so I can get paid to do these other things? And then you have to focus on these other things. So after work, what's a priority for you? I want you to think about that. We know what the obvious is, but let's talk about it. You got the work priorities. You want to be able to get to work so you can do your job, so you can remain employed, to keep those things going, whether it's a job you go to or whether you're an entrepreneur creating things, but that becomes a priority. And then you get the relationship priorities, the people that you deal with, the people you're coming in contact with, and what's happening with those based on where you are with your relationships. What does Michelle say? Gas price affect food price and other things. Yes, they do. You're absolutely right. You're speaking like an economist, because that money those charges get passed on to others. And also shout out to you, Mom. Michelle says, good morning, Miss Pat. You two guys are fun. You're absolutely right, Michelle, though. It does pass on to so many other things. So it ends up having an impact on so many parts of our life, whether we know it or not. But then you talk about these relationship priorities. I'm not talking about family. We'll talk about that in a second. But do you go see your buddy on the other side of town? That person that you may have been getting to know, how do you determine how you guys are going to spend time together? Do you go drive to go see them? Do they drive to come see you? Do you guys meet halfway? You start having to have these open conversations. It used to be at a point when gas wasn't really the conversation. These things weren't discussed. This is pre-COVID, of course, it wasn't discussed. But now you're at a point where you got to show a little bit more honesty about, hey, with this gas, how do you want to do this? And then, of course, finally, and just as important, most importantly, we got to talk about what? The family priorities, family outings, family visits, for those travel basketball families, travel baseball families, all these things are going on. The games are still going on, things are going to happen, but you still got to look at making these sacrifices. But what I think the best thing we can take away from, because I think we can always get a lesson out of some challenging situation. The best thing we can take away from these high gas prices is, like, what are our life priorities right now? We can look at going to work. We can look at taking care of our family, but it's those other things that we look to do. When we can just jump in the vehicle and say we're going to drive X amount of time to go do something, we may look at, well, maybe we could do something else. Maybe we can find something that can happen a little bit closer to home. Maybe we don't necessarily need to go anywhere. Maybe we can do that here. And I think that is the benefit of making those sacrifices, because here's the thing. When we're used to moving on our own and having this freedom to do whatever we want to do without any consequences, whether it's financial consequences or anything like that, sometimes we don't think about the things we do. Sometimes a lot of actions or things we do are just like frivolous. It's like the comedian, who talks about going to Costco and buying all that stuff you don't need. It's like because you don't have to prioritize, but now there's an opportunity for us to prioritize things in our life. With high gas prices, and yeah, they may continue to go up throughout the summer, and I'm not trying to make anyone feel bad, and some of you guys may not be as affected because it's, not that kind of a financial concern, but to Michelle's point, it affects so many other things. I don't think we should look at the gas prices being something that's going to limit us because we have to stay close to home, but it should be something that can help us prioritize what's most important and spend time on that. Maybe it is spending the extra money for me to drive from East Lansing to Detroit, where I get to have a night where I get to hang out with my mom and spend time with her, get to spend time with some friends that I have, and be able to just prioritize what's important. That doesn't mean I'm going to be on the road all the time back and forth, but every time I do something, I'm very conscious of that. But as it relates to your life, be able to prioritize what's important and let those gas prices be a reflection of it. The next thing, got a comment coming up right here. Got Aaron Mays. Good morning, brother. Appreciate you all the time. Appreciate your suggestions, too, for the SPS Edge show. I'm going to get with you on that. But, brother, we just talking about these things. And Kevin Marshall Senior said, good morning, brother. Same to you, man. Good morning as well. Just being able to prioritize different things in our life. We went through this pandemic together. We were just sitting right here and all talking. Everybody I have on this feed, we were all communicating through the pandemic, and we got through it. But even then, we began to shift our priorities about what was important. Do you have to go all these places to be around all these people? And now you're realizing that's not necessarily the case because of the health factor. Same thing with this gas. If you can't go all the places you want to go, find comfort and peace in doing smaller things and not making all those moves and doing all those things, because it can be a challenge. We don't want you to be in a situation where you have to choose between going to work and doing something with your family. Maybe that family event that was normally getting on the road, going somewhere, could be something that's done closer to home. It's just, this is the time, guys, where we can prioritize what's most important and not feel that the gas is really hurting us in the sense that we can't live the life we want. Yeah, you may want to jump on a plane. You may want to go somewhere else and do all these other things, but it may be okay just to spend a little bit more time doing things that are a little bit more simplistic, simply put, that involve a little bit more creativity, simply put. When finances are not a concern, there's less need to strategize. But the reverse is, when finances are a concern, you have to be more strategic. And here's an opportunity for us to be more strategic in what we focus on and what's important to us, because you still can find fulfillment despite these high gas prices. I don't want you to have your life wedded to the fact that if you can't get in your car, fill up the tank, and drive as far as you want to go, you won't find peace and happiness. It can't be that way. We can't look at things like that. Brother Aaron says, yes, these gas prices will make you think about priorities and what's really important. You hit it on the head, Aaron. Thanks for bringing it home for me. It's going to make you think about what's really important. And I think that's a positive thing. I think it's a positive. Now, it may come down to somebody who was getting your time, or some situation that was getting your time and energy. You may realize that it doesn't rate that priority anymore. That's no knock on the person. That's not no knock on the event. But it's giving you a chance, Aaron, and others to be able to say, okay, I don't necessarily need this. This isn't that important to me. So let me focus on some other things. And that's a great thing. And guess what? You might as well do it, because somebody doing it to you. Somebody looking at you and your situation, they were like, I don't think I'm going. We said we was going to do this, but I don't know. And that's okay. Because just imagine being able to connect with someone, whether your family being on the same page, your friends, the relationships you have being on the same page, where you can understand and be honest about it. And, and if you got to just put it out there and say, hey, gas is impacting how I'm making moves, I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. So with that being said, the other side of it is, if somebody tells you to throw the concern about gas to the wind, I don't want to hear about no gas, this, and that. That's crazy, because I can imagine, that's a one-sided situation. That's just my opinion on that. So, guys, I won't keep you too much on this Monday motivation. I just thought it was pretty cool to talk about these current events that are happening, and just how I'm looking at my life. Gas is high, but doesn't mean I can't focus on what's important. And more important, what do you say? Hey, more carpooling. Hey, that's right on my end. It's like, what you got on it? Look how we changing that. Then that's letting you know, Kevin, that's letting you know what kind of person you rocking with. Because if they can't extend the same courtesy to you, that's letting you know. And that's another opportunity where these high gas price sacrifices can help you going forward. All right, guys, we're at the 10-minute mark. With that being said, I want you to have a great day. If you're in the Metro Detroit area, stop by my guy Derek Coleman's Summer League. I'll be there. SPS will be in the building. You can catch us for some other things next week with the Rachel Williams Foundation as well. And SPS is going to continue to rock out with Moneyball Program this summer. I appreciate you, Kevin, saying facts. I appreciate everybody else stopping in. Go ahead, have a great day, have a great week, have a great month, have a great year, have a great life. Lindsay Ellis with SPS, and I'm out. Peace.